Hey everybody, I'm Cody and this is the Mutant Menace. Wow, it's been a while since I made a video. A lot has changed with me. I've moved, I have this new setup, still in the works, hope it looks cool. I recently started a new job, so there's kind of a lot new with me. But that's not why you came here. You came here to talk about X-Men. So let's do it! Today on Let's Talk About X, we're going to be talking about Uncanny X-Men issue number 14, which was written by Matthew Rosenberg with art by Salvador Larroca. The color artist is Guru EFX, and it's lettered by Virtual Calligraphy's Joe Caramagna. So this issue marks the fourth installment in what I have affectionately dubbed the Dark Abandoned Factory Saga. Now, this issue deals pretty heavily in uneasy alliances. We have Cyclops striking a deal with Val Cooper, whom I love, and I'm really excited to see her because I loved her all through X Factor. She got, real shady various times throughout her history, the ONE, all the business with the One. But she's a great character. I love her as like a supporting cast member of X-Men. But between kind of striking that uneasy alliance with her and also our team of X-Men still dealing with Dark Beast and taking tips from Dark Beast as to the location of agents of the Mutant Liberation Front, which they were trying to track down because apparently Hope and Banshee are part of it, which is such a great cliffhanger left open at the end of the last issue, and we're kind of seeing their path to get to them in this issue. We also get some development with the Morlocks between Callisto and Jono, so that was really cool as well. I have some problems. So far, this Uncanny run, I have actually enjoyed it. The plot is really exciting, it's interesting, and I really like this dark tone right now. It's really appropriate for Scott's return to be like, what the hell's been happening? However, I think my problem with the series so far is the characterization. I'm really close to a lot of people on this team, probably too close, so I'm gonna be on the pickier side of how they're portrayed. And honestly, with Rain and Jamie and between Rain and Jamie and Magic and people like this, I feel like we need to spend more time in these quiet moments addressing what's going on. Guido, spoilers, Guido died in, issue 11, 12? He died right off the bat in this arc. This should be a big deal to people like Wolfsbane and Jamie, who were pretty close to him, and Rain and Guido went through a lot and made a breakthrough in Matt Rosenberg's own series, New Mutants Dead Souls. And it seems like the ramifications of something like his death, it seems like we should spend more time having these quiet moments, the ones that Peter David was so good at in X Factor. You felt like everything mattered. This series is moving really quickly, which is nice, and it's refreshing, and it's eventful, and, it's very exciting. But it's kind of losing some of that in the process. So while I like this fast-paced story, we're losing some of that quiet, slow characterization that I think we need to be spending some time on, since a lot of things are happening that are kind of a big deal. Larroca being great at capturing mood, but not so much coherence. I'm loving his art on these quiet moments, the more dramatic sequences when they're having their conversations, but when we get to the action sequences, it just falls really flat for me. I've been talking a lot on Twitter about specific panels, things like Magic's hand being in frame when she's teleporting everyone through the portals. Is she teleporting them straight up to drop them, or is she teleporting them away? Something about her hand placement just doesn't add up to me, and there's things like this all throughout it. Last issue, there was a part where she throws her sword through a portal, and there's an odd panel where she's focusing, the sword is in between panels, it's about this big, it looks like a tiny sword, the next panel looks like it's making impact with Dark Beast, but that's all more inferred than we're being shown, and for comics being such a, visual medium, there's something lacking there in these action sequences. Things feel like they should be epic, but we can't tell what's going on, or at least I am having trouble telling what's going on, and that's kind of a problem when you have these action sequences that are moving us through a story that kind of relies on the events of said sequences. So I love Larroca's art on these moments, not so much on the action sequences. I'm not really a fan of the way he draws Ileana. We've been really spoiled, in my opinion, having Bacalo illustrate her in the past, and then having people like Adam Gorham doing such a great job illustrating her. This just seems like a downgrade for her, in my opinion. Everyone knows how I feel. Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you probably know how I feel about these throwback 90s costumes. I understand we're trying to bring the X-Men back to kind of a baseline, a familiarity thing, because the movie rights, yada yada yada. But it's not working for me. The Cyclops granny panties things, we need to retire it. his Revolution suit, his Astonishing suit, all of these would have been better choice. I do really like how Matt Rosenberg wrote in a reason for why we're seeing them in these costumes, being like, oh, it's the only thing around. That's actually really funny and lessens the blow for me about why they're wearing these things. But at the end of the day, it's not really doing it for me. So overall, I really like this story arc. I like the dark tone. I just have a problem with the characterization, and I'm hoping that eventually Matt Rosenberg will let us slow down and talk about the things that have been happening, because I think that these characters deserve that much. All that being said, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's a shorter video today because I'm getting used to this new setup. I'm going to see how it all looks in editing. I'm going to see what the final product looks like. Feel free to give me feedback in the comments below as far as the issue, but also as far as what you think of everything going on. If this looks good, whatever you want. I also just wanted to keep the review on the issue itself short because A, I don't believe that reviews should be purely synopses, and B, I want you to go pick up the issue, go buy it, and read it yourselves because it's X-Men. And they're the best. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, please hit subscribe. I will be back, I promise. I'm trying to get back in the groove of things. Things have been all over the place, but I've missed you guys so much, and I hope to see you in the comments and on Twitter. Follow everywhere, at the Mutant Menace. I will talk to you later. One more thing. Before you go and leave the comments below, I'm actually really aware of the glare on these. It's kind of distracting. There's hot spots. I know my button, where is it? Over here. Glare from the sun, lighting is something I'm still trying to work out. The books are all super high gloss because I put archival mylar over all my omnis, so they look really distracting in this light. I don't know. Hopefully I'll figure it out, but I am aware of that and I do apologize. I'm sorry. Love me. I love you. Subscribe.